Hey you guys, my name is Mork and I'm going to be reviewing the Teen Mom 2 Reunion Part 1 for Season 9. So before I get started on my review, I just want to let you guys know I am under the weather. So I am sorry. I sound a little nasally and congested. So before I get started, that is why. So I'm going to get started with the recap. The first segment is just starting off with highlighting all the girls' stories for the past season. We also see there's only two girls on stage, which is Chelsea and Leah, because the other three, Janelle, Brianna, and Kel, are not getting along. And Dr. Drew and Nessa are asking Leah and Chelsea their perspective of the past season with all the girls' stories. So they bring up Janelle setting Kel's hair products on fire. They also bring up Barb saying on IG Live of killing Kel while she was on IG Live with Brianna. I'm not Brianna, I'm sorry, Brittany. And Aubrey being let down when she wasn't able to see Adam for the visitation, him not showing up. And that kind of basically was it. My opinion about it is kind of like, it's kind of unfortunate that all five girls couldn't be on stage. I kind of feel like Kel, and I don't dislike Kel. Let me, kind of start off by saying that I don't dislike her, but she is the common denominator, as far as like Janelle and Brianna not being on stage. So I feel like the producers should have made a point, to Kel and allowed Brianna and Janelle to be on stage and kept the show roll, kept it pushing, and still had, at least most of the cast on stage. I feel kind of like Kel, always has like these dramatic ass antics, and it's always stuff that's centered around her. She kind of feels like she's like the head bitch in charge of the show. So I think this is one of the examples that the producers are giving in and kind of giving Kel what she wants. To play devil's advocate, maybe Janelle might not have been on there because maybe Leah and Chelsea felt uncomfortable with everything that's going on pertaining to David and the dog, and the lighting up Kel's hair products, and her mama saying all them crazy ass things on Instagram Live. So maybe that caused them to feel uncomfortable. Maybe they didn't want Janelle on there, but Brianna didn't do nothing to nobody, so I don't understand why Brianna couldn't be on stage just because Kel doesn't get along with her. So that was kind of basically it for that first segment. So the next segment is Leah's segment, and they're kind of discussing her breakup with Jason. And we kind of see on camera throughout the season that Jason was a bit opinionated. He always felt like he needed to tell Leah his opinion, and kind of felt like she needed to just kind of like go with his opinion. Like what he said was just, gold, and everything he said was correct. Also, we also kind of saw that he was a little controlling a bit too. So the fact that they broke up, I am happy about. And Jeremy comes out and he also noticed the controllingness. On a side note, now that I look back on the season, Jason did always shit on Jeremy. Like he always kind of talked shit about Jeremy. So the fact that he didn't really want to meet Jeremy ended up saying on the reunion that Jason was always kind of like apprehensive to meeting him and stuff like that. It kind of makes sense. He probably might have been low-key a little threatened by Jeremy. He might have also thought that because Jeremy was single, Leah had more of a chance to get with him versus Corey, because Corey's married and happily married at that. And he also met Corey. We saw that during the season. So that was kind of interesting, to see that, and to see that how he kind of treated Jeremy. Also, they talked about Jeremy and Leah potentially getting back together. Currently, they're hooking up right now, and they kind of just talked about that. And I don't know if I'm really here for Leah and Jeremy to get back together. Like them hooking up is, whatever y'all want to do, y'all. But as far as them getting back together, they got a divorce, and I don't know. It's just they divorce was super nasty and it was really dramatic and they had a whole bunch of shit going on. And I'm not sure if neither one of them have made like huge improvements in their life so they won't go back to where they were at, in their marriage and in that really bad place in their marriage towards the end. So I don't know if I really want to see that. I kind of want to see Leah continuing to like date and I don't know, it's whatever, it's their life, whatever. Then they have like a random moment, and they kind of was already like foreshadowing that it was going to be, because they kept saying stuff about Addie. Oh, Addie's so cute. Addie's so cute. And Addie is so cute. And she is such a cute, hilarious little girl. And she does crack me up. Like when she be having her little moments on camera and stuff like that. But they kept like just bringing Addie up more than they do the other kids. And then they have a random moment of Addie taking questions. And I don't know. I was just kind of like, okay, MTV, this kind of weird a little bit. I don't know. It just didn't sit right with my spirit. I don't know. I just didn't feel right by it. It was cute though. And she was answering little questions and it was cool. Okay. So the next segment we have Kel. They start off talking about Kel and Chris's relationship. And just from an outsider looking in, the whole Chris and her relationship, kind of seemed non-existent, kind of one-sided, I should say, is a better word for it. This kind of seemed one-sided. It always seemed like Kel fucked with and loved Chris more than he loved and fucked with her. I just never felt that he showed her the respect and the love that she deserved as, the mother of his child, somebody that he's having sex with, somebody he's, also saying sweet nothings in her ear, like, she feels this way about him for a reason. So I definitely think Chris knew what he was doing. I think he says one thing to Kel and then acts a completely different way in like public. Like they showed when he like texted her randomly and was like, I love you, Kaylin Lowry. And I was just like, man, that's one of those moments where, he trying to play little mind games. I don't know. I just didn't like it. I don't really like Chris and her together. So I'm glad that she's not with him. But I want him to still be a good father to Lux, because Lux is so cute. All her kids are so cute. I love little Isaac and Lincoln too. They should have had a moment too. I mean, if they let little Addie have a moment, they should have let little Lincoln, because Lincoln be saying some stuff too, like Isaac as well. Like, I don't know. But anyway, okay, so then they then went into the Janelle and Kel situation with with Janelle lighting Kel's hair products on fire. And my question was the same. Why send it? I felt like Kel, the more appropriate thing and the more heartfelt thing to do would have been to reach out to Janelle first, talk the shit out, y'all differences, and then send her the hair products. I felt like Kel knew what she was doing. She knew exactly what she was doing. She's no dummy. She's been on Teen Moms and been on reality TV for a long ass time, damn near 10 years. So she knew what she was doing. Janelle is a hothead. She knows she's a hothead. Janelle's kind of predictable in how she reacts to situations like that. So so Kel knew what she was doing. She knew that Janelle was going to blow up and be all dramatic. I don't think she knew that Janelle was going to go to the extent of lighting that shit on fire, but she knew that Janelle was going to, do the food, and they so happened to be filming at this time too, so she knew that all this shit was gonna be caught on tape. So I don't know, I was just like, yeah, I didn't agree with that. I think she should have reached out to Janelle first, just because they have a very long and up and down history. Like, they were cool at one point and they fell out, and their falling out was real intense and stuff. So I don't know, I just felt like she should have reached out first. And then they go into Kel and Barb's situation, where Barb was saying, kill Kel on IG Live. And you know, Kel's thing was, I don't know why more wasn't done. Um, man, I love me some Barb. So I was like disappointed in Barb as well. Like that was one of the things I can't even back you up on that, Barb. Like I love you, and I think you're a great, you know, grandmother. I think you're a great mom, but that was very disappointing. And then after, when they the next day, when she was just so like nonchalant about it, like she knew I was playing, and I just think she should have took more ownership. So yeah, I was kind of with Kel on that. And that was the end of Kel. So we're at Brianna's segment, and they start off talking about Brianna and Devon's relationship, or their parentship, their co-parenting, and then she brings up the situation that's gonna be on this next coming season of Teen Mom 2, where Devon gets drunk and he got Nova and her friends at the damn beach, and he drunk as fuck, and Brianna goes and picks him and Nova up, and I was just like, damn, Devon, like we all be rooting for you, brother. Like I'm with Dr. Drew, like damn, Devon, like he was drunk as fuck, and I was just kind of like, dang, Devon, that wasn't cool. You definitely probably shouldn't have been drinking at all that day. Personally, I wouldn't have drunk at all. Having my kids and their friends at the beach, like that is hella dangerous, because you just think about kids, so many kids, like one of the leading causes of kids' deaths, particularly like in like areas like that, and in the summertime all around the country, and it's kids drowning, and that just is so, oh my goodness, as a mom, that just scares me to death. Like, oh yeah, I was disappointed in Devon for that. Nova, in that segment when they showed that clip, she looked so uncomfortable, and she just looked like, oh my goodness. While she was in the car, I just felt so sorry for her, and I was just like, damn, Devon. Also when they was going and recapping Brianna's story for the past season, when Stella was in the hospital and Lewis just dropped the ball and didn't even like check on his daughter, that broke my heart. Like, Lewis, do better. You know, like, this little girl looked just like you. This is half of you. You need to do right. You know, like, come on, do better. Like, step it up. You too old for that shit, for real. Then they go into John and Brianna's relationship, and you know, it's cool. I'm glad they're taking things slow. And I was like, Nessa, don't encourage. Why are you asking about babies and stuff? Like, Brianna does not need a baby. I need for you to be asking about marriage. And then let's talk about baby. No, first of all, let's back up. Let's talk about them living in the same city first. Then let's talk about them getting married. And then babies, because all of that. So when you guys had, like, I was like, no, no. Just keep taking things slow. Y'all going at a good pace. I'm proud of you, Brianna. Just keep that same, you know, movement going with your relationship. You know, and time will tell with John. I don't really have much of opinion about John, because we saw him throughout the season, but he's a real laid back type of guy, so it's kind of a little hard to read him, and people like that, it's just time will tell with them. So, you know, if he's a good man, it's gonna continue to show. If he ain't, you gonna have it documented. And last but definitely not least, Janelle segment. This is kind of what led me to make a video, because I really want to talk about this whole segment with Janelle. They highlighted Janelle's, summarized her story for the season. And I saw on the previews that Ness and her is gonna kind of have words. Didn't know what she was talking about when she said you were talking about my family. I was like, I know she with Colin Kaepernick, but I didn't know she was talking about Colin Kaepernick. Anyway, I'm getting ahead of myself. But I loved how Nessa approached the situation. She correlated Amber's rant and her talking about Janelle to her situation with Janelle. And Janelle talking about her family aka her man. And Nessa, I loved how she carefully approached the situation because, you know, and not to get, you know, super racial, but I'm gonna call a spade a spade. You know, I'm a Sagittarius, so I'm a straight to the point. I'm very, very, very honest. So a lot of the times white people like to play the victim. They like to be on defense. So the fact that Nessa didn't give her any warning, Janelle was taken by surprise. And we saw her actual reaction to the situation because she had no time to prepare. She didn't know that Nessa was going to, you know, call her out on on what she said on social media. So when Nessa did that, she pulled out the receipts, honey, from social media. Janelle tried to act like she had no idea what Nessa was talking about. Huh? I don't remember saying that about your boyfriend, your husband. I don't remember saying that. And it was just one of those moments like, Janelle, you know exactly what she's talking about. You know exactly what you wrote when you wrote it. You know exactly what you said. And you know, I think it was very appropriate platform that Anessa did it. I think it was in a very appropriate way, a very appropriate, the perfect platform to call Janelle out on her racist ass bullshit. And Nessa wasn't aggressive in how she approached Janelle. She was very, you know, well spoken, very concise, you know, very firm, but not aggressive. And Janelle went into victim, ran off the fucking stage, and I was just like, see, like, she's just trying to have an open, honest discussion. Like, you want to say some shit like this, well, stand on it. You want to say that, you know, what Colin Kaepernick is doing is not quote unquote right. No. And I'm so happy that Nessa highlighted to people that are watching this that have really no idea or understanding of the whole kneeling for the national anthem during, you know, the sports games, football and such. And she, you know, summarized it in the perfect way. You know, we're fighting for social justice for Black people in America. We're trying to fight against the systematic shit in America that is constantly bringing Black people down. And who's one of the number one people? Police brutality. Black people getting arrested for no fucking reason just because of the color of their skin. And you got somebody like her husband that literally carries around guns and has all this fucking ammunition, and this man hasn't got any type of consequences put on him. He can literally sit there and talk about Black people, talk about homosexual people, can talk about just every fucking body, and he has no consequences provoked on him. Like, I was so happy when MTV told him, stopped him from filming, banned him from filming, because like he needed something to be done. But my thing is this. For Janelle to sit up there and act like she had no idea what Nessa was talking about, and then sit there and run and cry and run off the stage, it was just kind of like typical. You have no idea. And I'm so glad Nessa held her feet to the fire, and I'm glad she did it on a platform like MTV, as big as MTV is, that other people can hopefully learn from this and learn what exactly the whole movement is about. It's a peaceful protest. Nobody's hurting anybody, nobody's disrespecting anybody, and nobody's not giving respect due to our, you know, our soldiers and our military people that have served in the military. We give all respect for you guys, because you guys are heroes, and I want that to be clear. But we have to make a statement on the social injustice in America, and that shit ain't right. As a Black woman in America, I'm reminded about me being Black every day. I walk out my house. My kids are reminded of that every day. I have a Black son. I'm raising a Black, a man, a little boy that is one day going to be a Black man. And I have to give him that real talk. about what can go on when you're a black man in America, when you're a black person in America. And me as a woman has also have felt the brunt of police and how they try to um um what is the word I'm looking for? They definitely try to um uphold the power that they think they have amongst citizens. So that will be a whole nother video. But yeah, that was my whole thing. And Dr. Drew was quiet as a church mouse. He was sitting in the cuts, chilling. And at first I was like, Dr. Drew should be, second in it. Like, yeah, Janelle, that's not right. But then I was like, you know what? I liked how Dr. Drew approached it. I'm glad he didn't say nothing, because that would have gave Janelle further grounds to say, you guys are ganging up on me. I'm glad he was quiet. I'm glad he said, I'm gonna go backstage and talk to her. So I'm really, anxious to see what's gonna happen next week and what is he gonna say to her. And I hope he definitely has that. And I hope he also has the agreements, being in agreement with Nessa pertaining to how she called Janelle out. Yes, I think that was an appropriate place. I don't think it was out of line. This is things that you say online. So what does the show do? It documents your life. So if you say shit on social media, it documents all of that, sis. So yes, it is the appropriate place to call you out on your racist ass bullshit. Janelle, shame on you. Shame on your man. And get it together. Nessa, yes, sis. Get her, sis. I'm so happy you definitely spoke on that. Like, I just give you so many, kudos for that. Like, I would have done the exact same thing, and I'm here for it. So, yes, okay. So, that's it. That's basically my recap for the Teen Mom 2 Season 9 Reunion Part 1. I'm thinking about doing a review for the part 2, because I know it's gonna be some more bullshit that Janelle and the other ladies probably gonna do to irritate me that I want to speak upon. All right.